Did you know this podcast is powered by Acast? Acast is the home of podcasting. For creators looking for freedom to grow their listeners and make money too. And creative brands looking for smart ways to advertise. Podcasters and advertisers in the know Acast. It's time you did too. Visit acast.com to find out more. Acast, for the stories.
But I also want to direct you to some photos there, photos that go with our next story. They are photos taken by Joe Francis, who for the third year has reigned over the family photography category in the National Nikon Iris Awards. Actually, 4 Wellington women took out some of the top awards last weekend. Esther Bunning, Joe Francis, Catherine Kadenuck and Amber Griffin. Jo is known for her beautiful work capturing families, and she joins me now. Hello there.
Hi.
Wow, you are incredible. I've just been looking at these photos. They are stunning, absolutely stunning.
Oh, thanks so much.
Presumably you could have taken photographs of anything. Why did you choose to focus on families?
Oh, because they are the heart and soul of our world, really. And I just feel when I create that sort of work, it's going to have more of a legacy than any other sort of work I could create.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I'd love to talk to you about some of these photos, including the one that got silver. 4 boys and a dog. I love this photo. Can you describe it for our listeners?
Yeah, so each year we have our Iris Awards, and we have several different categories, and one of the categories you can do different photoshopping in, and I like to come up with a theme each year to sort of photograph, and I absolutely love photographing redheads. I am a redhead myself, so it's always a bit of fun. So I put a call out on my Facebook page for redheads, and this lovely mum, Amanda, offered her boys. I had photographed them before in the past, so I knew the boys a little bit. Yeah, and I took a whole range of sort of nice, classic, well-dressed, proper-looking photos of her rugby-mad, multi-headed little boys.
Yeah.
And then I said to her, hey, do you mind if I do this different idea I've got? And she looked at me a bit nervously, but she said, okay. And I pulled out the dresses, and the boys groaned, and we're not overly impressed, but they were good sports, and they put them on for me, and I said to them, just show me how you feel about wearing the dresses. And I got about, 2 minutes before they were well and truly done. But yeah, that's the resulting photo.
So grumpy faces.
Yeah, they were not impressed. It was quite fun.
But yeah, the image that's been created, although they're trying their best to look unhappy, is just the most beautiful image for some reason.
It's a lovely juxtaposition.
Yeah, these 4 rough diamonds and these beautiful frilly dresses, and the dog as well, right?
Yeah, and the dog was equally unimpressed and was trying to get away the whole time, which added to the humour of the shot. I like to enter something funny each year because often my work can be quite emotional, I guess, so it's nice to put in something that gives the judges a chuckle.
Well, talk about emotional. How about this portrait you've taken of your brother and your father?
Yeah, that one's pretty special to me. Yeah, it was pretty moving to watch that judged, actually. The judges really understood the point of the photo, which was the intimacy between the people, and they picked them as father and son. The judging is all done anonymously, so, it's really up to the judge's interpretation what the photo means. But yeah, my dad was listening at home, my dad John and my brother Ben were both listening live to the judging and crying, and it was a pretty moving experience for all of us.
Can you describe the photo for us?
So it's basically, we went to Shipwreck Trading, which is an amazing nautical shop in Seaview in Wellington. And it's quite near my house, and I popped in there one day and seen all the stuff and instantly thought about my dad and my brother and how amazed they would be to see this shop, because they're both sailors. So I organised for my dad and my brother and my nephew to come down for a day, and we just went in there and shot it. And we took a lot of sort of themed shots with, different props, basically. But I absolutely love portholes. So I basically leaned a porthole against my brother's head. Mm-hmm. And it's a heavy thing, and you can sort of see the dent mark in his head where it's been leaning on there. And I asked him to come really close, and my brother's just got this gorgeous, intense gaze. And he's sort of staring quite sort of soulfully through this porthole. And my father has his head pressed up against my brother, and their hands are sort of interlocked right on the edge of the circle. And when you look at it, it's a pretty moving portrait. the judges did cry when they talked about it. They got the sort of, the emotion and the sense of sort of desperation between the men. And I did sort of give them some directions. Look out the window like you're never going to see land, like you're dying. And they acted right into it. But I guess what's real and true about the photo is the love and the connection between them, and that comes through.
All these are on our website, by the way, if people want to take a look, rnz.co.nz/Jessie. Love to talk about, there was actually a photo you've got here that made me think, I should get a beautiful photo of my own grandfather. You've got a portrait of 95-year-old.
Yeah,
a 95-year-old
really
couple.
Special.
Yeah, tell me about that one.
Yeah, I had this lovely man, Peter. Actually, this is quite a beautiful story. He was visiting New Zealand from Australia, and he had come over, and he was, very worried about getting locked down in New Zealand, and he'd come over to take his parents and put them in a rest home. And he'd seen my work at the Thorndon Fair, and he thought, gosh, I should do this. This could be, the last opportunity to get a portrait of my parents. So they came in, and of course it's quite tricky to come up. I've got a set of stairs. It was quite tricky for them to come up. It took a bit of time. But they just had such a gorgeous relationship. And the dad, Peter, the father, Peter, he was just really visibly moved to see his parents being photographed. I felt this enormous sense of responsibility. I kept thinking to myself, this could be the last portrait of this couple. And this is the thing this man, Peter, is going to have for the rest of his life, of his parents. So felt quite important to get it right. It's quite interesting listening to it being judged. The judges sort of talked a lot about the story of their relationship and that obviously had a lifetime of togetherness, which was quite special.
I mean, part of your job, I imagine, as a family photographer is the technical aspect, but you're also dealing with people and often young people who aren't as obedient probably as your family are taking instructions. How about these? My
family are the worst. I have to pay my children to let me photograph them.
I was talking about your brother and your dad, actually, but yes.
Yeah, they were quite well behaved. Yeah.
Tell me about the portrait. You won gold for this one as well, the portrait of three sisters, Skylar, Saskia and Sasha.
Yeah, so these are regular clients, and the mum told me that when she found out she was pregnant, the thing she knew she wanted was an heirloom piece from me of her three children. So I felt, a great sense of responsibility for creating something really beautiful for her. So I had a little dress made for the baby and sort of put all the colours together. But the magic really comes from the people. Like, you can make a beautiful set with gorgeous lighting and beautiful styling, beautiful dresses, but then the real magic of portrait photography is getting people to feel relaxed with you, getting them to sort of bring out their true feelings and emotions, and when you can kind of create that rapport with your clients and have them just sort of, it's almost like a dance. They sort of interact with you and you interact with them, and you just kind of bring out the best in each other. And that's, I think, when those portraits really sing and really feel meaningful.
I guess the bonus of doing family photography is that you have someone to really appreciate it in a way that you might not if you take a photo of a tree or a mountain or a line. It's a bit of a gift for the people involved, isn't it?
It really feels like a gift. I had a portrait taken by Esther Bunning, actually. She's one of my photography heroes. 7 years ago, of me and my son and I, who is now 8, and just the two of us, and I have 2 older children, but I wanted to have this sort of last moment of having a baby captured. And I went and had this portrait session with her, and I spent quite a bit of money at the time, but those photos are worth 10 times as much to me now. I don't think there's anything I own that is as special to me as having that sort of relationship and the intimacy I had with him as a 1-year-old captured. And I feel that strongly when I'm shooting mums and babies and dads and babies, or small people in general, that you're giving them something for the future. Like, it's nice to have it now, but it's even more important to have it in 10 years when those children are bratty and teenagey.
Well, Esther had a good awards, didn't she? She scored a perfect 100 for.
She is an absolute living legend.
The first time in the history of the award, someone scored 100 points for a photo.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. It was a really interesting experience for me, because I had my 99 for my dad, and we have a prize for the top scoring entry. And right up until about the last hour of the entire 3 day of judging, I was the top scorer, and then I get beaten by Esther. I thought, if I'm going to be beaten by anyone, I'd like it to be She is that amazing.
Oh, cool. Well, it sounds like you've got a great community of photographers there in Wellington, of women photographers as well.
Yeah, we really do. And it is, we refer to ourselves as the penguin colony because we really are a very connected group of professionals and artists, and we get together once a year for our conference and our judging, and it's like a love fest. Everybody's there supporting each other, and half the time, like I was up for one of the categories with Catherine Kadinek, who's one of my best photography friends as well, and I wanted her to win it, and she did win it. But it's like, I can't think of many professions where you actually want your friends to beat you.
Nice to talk to you. Well done on your success.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you, Jesse.
I've been talking to Jo Francis. I encourage you to have a look at her beautiful photos online, rnz.co.nz/Jessie.
We all know skincare is important because skincare is self-care. So let's keep it simple. Love your skin and every bit of its potential because imperfection is perfection. And the journey is for you to create today, tomorrow, and the next. Shop skincare at Ulta Beauty now. Ulta Beauty. The possibilities are beautiful.